when things are illegal, it's like there's like a black market or whatever. Like that's what happened like Prohibition. But if it's legal, then I guess there'd probably be a lot more vendors or dealers or whatever. Would they be called dealers anymore? I have no idea.
Today we're going to be interviewing college students on the topic of marijuana legalization. This video is sponsored by Smart Stash. Check out smartstashbags.com.
All right. Thank you for doing this interview. What is your name?
Sully.
Sully? Yeah. All right. What is your opinion on the legalization of marijuana?
It should be legalized because it's less dangerous than alcohol. There's been 0 recorded cases from somebody dying from just ingesting marijuana. Yeah, maybe from like while under the influence dying, but alcohol poisoning is very common. Like, ever heard of freshmen at college, like right here, dying from alcohol poisoning? So yeah. And B, it's another tax revenue source, as you see in like Colorado, Nevada, Canada. Once they legalized marijuana, people went crazy and bought so much, so they got insane tax revenue. And Colorado's been spending a lot of their tax revenue putting it back in public schools, which is something that's been lacking lately. So, yeah, overall, like, the dangers of marijuana aren't really that dangerous because, like, Nixon did the war on drugs and demonized it as a way to disenfranchise people of color, especially blacks and Hispanics. Like back in the 20s, it was like legal and nobody cared, but then slowly it was used as like a race tactic. And I guess that's it about marijuana.
So you support full legalization for like recreational?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, full legalization. I feel like an adult has the right to do what they want to their body that's not hurting other people. Obviously, you can't drive while you're high, do like heavy machinery, just like the same laws as alcohol. But it's way less dangerous than alcohol, and it actually has some health benefits. They're not well researched because it's illegal right now, but with the legalization, we can be able to better research how effective it is for health-wise, but definitely better than alcohol.
How strongly does this issue impact your voting?
Like very strongly. Like if a candidate is not in favor of weed legalization, I probably won't vote for them. Yeah.
All right, what is your name?
My name is Ty Williams.
Ty Williams?
Yep.
What is your opinion on the legalization of marijuana?
Legalization of marijuana. I feel like I think it should be legalized everywhere medically. I've seen a lot of the good that it can bring, like just the use of CBD oils and everything. It's crazy, like seeing those videos, where people are having seizures and those couple drops can really, in like a matter of minutes, just kind of stop that type of stuff. So I think it's a good thing to have not recreationally, but medically. I'm not really sure about recreationally. Just personally, I used to do marijuana, but not so much anymore.
So you're for medical, but you would lean against recreational?
I would say so, yeah.
What are some concerns you would have for recreational weed?
I guess really I'm just not really for anything that kind of alters the mind state. That's why, yeah, I would say that's really why I wouldn't go for it. It's kind of like, you can find other stuff to do. Yeah.
Hello, what are your names?
I'm Sophie.
Sophie.
Liz.
Juliana.
Juliana? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions about like government policies and like how it would impact you in the upcoming election and stuff like that. So, do any of you support the legalization of marijuana? I'd want to know like your opinion on the issue.
I think it's a good plan just in terms of like it would definitely make it safer and like more regulated because then there's actual dispensaries who know what they're doing and aren't lacing it with other things and have to obey certain standards. So I think that's a positive.
Yeah, I would agree. I think certainly society has moved to support the legalization of marijuana, and I think, legalizing it, like Sophie said, would work out a lot of kinks in the system, but I think it has to be accompanied with criminal justice reform.
Yeah, I agree it should be legalized too. I think, I don't have answers as intelligent as them, but I think if anything, it's almost safer than alcohol use, and alcohol's legal, so I support it.
How much does this impact you as a voter? Like, is this an important issue to you or no?
Not particularly for me, but I support it.
No, it's not that important of an issue. I don't think it would make or break my vote.
It's almost the exact phrasing I was going to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your name?
My name is Eric.
Eric. What is your opinion on the topic of marijuana legalization?
Let me see. Personally, I definitely think it should be legalized. I mean, like, there's a lot of people in jail right now for using weed and smoking weed, and honestly, I don't really see it as like that harmful of a drug. So, it should definitely be legalized.
Would you say full recreational and medicinal, or just one or the other?
I think I would say full recreational, full medicinal, just because of the fact that, I mean, like, if you look at other countries, Portugal, Amsterdam, they're doing pretty well, and it's legal there. So I think they should legalize it here.
Hi. What is your name?
Hi, my name's Matt.
Matt. All right. Do you support the legalization of marijuana?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Do you have what are your reasons or?
So personally, I think it should be legalized because like alcohol has been legal, like they tried decriminalizing that, and that didn't work out in the 20s. And alcohol causes a lot more deaths a year than marijuana. Like, you don't really ever hear of people being high and driving, killing a bunch of people like they do on alcohol, and that's been legal, and that still happens a lot.
So do you support medical marijuana or recreational?
I would say both because medical marijuana, obviously that just has science backs that up, and that helps a lot of people with a lot of issues. And then recreational, you want to get high and sit on your couch and do nothing, that's not hurting anybody.
So what's your name?
My name's Jada.
Jada. What is your opinion on the topic of marijuana legalization?
Oh wow. Not gonna lie, I don't really have an opinion. I don't smoke. I'm sober. I don't really do anything. So, I mean, the thing about policy is in a way, our personal opinions are not supposed to affect, what other people are allowed to do with their lives or whatever. But I don't know. I don't really support drug use, I guess. I just don't see, personally, I don't see the point. I don't feel like it's kind of a crutch, but it's also, I can't really tell you to not, if that makes sense. But, so I don't think that was helpful. I'm a non-opinion. I don't really care about it. It wouldn't be if I was voting, it wouldn't be a swing thing for me at all. Yeah.
Would you say then maybe you'd be probably more in favor of medical marijuana rather than full recreational marijuana?
Definitely if there's scientific evidence that it's helpful in healing processes, obviously, then I would definitely go with it because I mean, hey, if there's proof that it works, especially the science behind it is actually solid and not biased, then why not? But recreational, it's there's so many ways I feel it could go wrong. But people always argue that marijuana is really different from alcohol and all the other substances. So yeah, but I think medical definitely why not? Yeah.
What do you think some of the consequences would be if marijuana were to be completely legalized?
Consequences? I don't know. I think one thing that would definitely have to happen is, in fact, there are a lot of people in jail right now, serving long sentences for non-violent drug charges, and a lot of them are just marijuana, which I think some of the sentences are really long, which I think is unnecessary because of the war on drugs or whatever. So they'd have to definitely, I think, let those people be free because it's legal now. So let them out. But other than that, I think whenever, I don't know, because when things are illegal, it's there's a black market or whatever. That's what happened Prohibition. But if it's legal, then I guess there'd probably be a lot more vendors or dealers or whatever. Would they be called dealers anymore? I have no idea. They'd be a lot more open, probably be all over the internet. Probably find more as you get younger and younger, a lot more younger kids using it, which is
So that would be a concern for you.
controversial. Yeah, why are kids using drugs? But kids are probably using drugs now. It's just more under wraps.
Yeah.
But yeah.
First off, thank you for letting us interview. But what are your names?
I'm Danny Green.
Candace Wallace.
Okay. Do you have any strong opinions on the legalization of marijuana? Do you think it should be
federally legal? I think that there should definitely be an opportunity for people to tax it and for the government to profit on it if that's something that I definitely do not like the fact that there's a lot of people who are in jail for basically small marijuana offenses. So I do think that if there's going to be a push to legalize, and you also have to think about the many people who are in like basically going to jail for just like very small crimes too. So there should also be something done with that along with the legalization push. Sorry, it took me a while to get
I
there.
agree completely. Like, I just think that, this is a pretty harmful drug or not harmful drug. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are incarcerated for a drug that really isn't that dangerous at all. And it needs to be regulated and I feel like taxed, and it could do a lot of good. And I feel like we can just look at Colorado for an example for what's going on. I think that's my opinion. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you.
So you guys both support recreational legalization as well as medical?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, sure. I don't think that it should be criminalized.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that there is an effort to sort of like loosen, loosen the penalties on it. I think that's like a good direction. It's a good direction to move in.
All right. What's your name?
Sean.
Sean. What is your opinion on the legalization of marijuana?
I'm kind of mixed because I want people not to be as restricted. I don't like the idea that people go to jail for that kind of thing. But on the other hand, I don't necessarily like going out to DC and having my girlfriend bothered by it while we're going out to dinner and being stuck on the highway behind somebody who seems like they were smoking it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of, I don't want to go back to the old ways, but not totally sold on the new way either.
You think like it should be legal, but people should do it in private and not in public, and especially not when driving?
I suppose if the choice is between totally illegal and not totally illegal, then legal something. But we need to make sure we have the right regulations attached to that.
Yeah, kind of similar, I guess, with public smoking.
Like public smoking and alcohol, yeah. I mean, we've built up, I think, relatively good regulations over those, and I think if those are applied to the marijuana, it might work.
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you for watching the Zach and Matt show here at the University of Maryland. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more interviews, and we'll have more content coming your way.